Hello everyone, this is Mr. Marr with Beat Theory, and this is my tutorial for Activity 3. This assignment focuses on creating your own original MIDI patterns, so I'm going to show you a couple different tools for how to do that. The first is the step sequencer. So Soundtrap uses a step sequencer as well as a piano roll to program drum rhythms. It's a very helpful tool, especially for a quick workflow. Step sequencers are great. So we're going to start by opening a virtual drum instrument and identifying how the notes are entered. I'm going to click Add New Track and then click Beats, Drums and Beats. I can see right here, this is a step sequencer. I'm going to just bring my screen a little bigger here. You can see that there are 16 steps per bar. This is bar 1, bar 2, 16 steps in between. That's the standard step length. We're going to start by programming a kick pattern on the first beat. This is a very common musical pattern. It's a great way to start a drum beat. It just kind of shows you where the start of the pattern is. So we're going to start by, after we have that kick on 1, let's set a 1-bar drum loop. I'm going to press play. So now I can program some more spots to this rhythm by clicking these darker purple squares until they light up. Alright. Like how that sounds? So great. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking for, is a programmed kick pattern with the kick on beat 1, as well as a couple other spots later in the bar. Next, we're going to record some patterns live. So there's two different kinds of live recorded patterns we can do. One is quantized, the other is unquantized. So quantized is going to be a pattern that locks to a step, either to a 16th note step or possibly a quarter note, eighth note, 32nd note. With the piano roll, we have just more subdivisions. So, I think in Soundtrap, the grid goes up to a 16th note triplet. So, again, we're going to be recording a pattern. One's going to be quantized, the other is going to be unquantized. So let's start with our quantized pattern first. So right here we have this auto quantize menu here. Sometimes it's set to off. I think that's the default at the moment. We're going to click that and we're going to set it to 116. So that way, whatever we play is automatically just going to lock to the grid. So you can see we've got this little drum set here. Each key is a different drum sound. So I'm going to record a little hi-hat pattern. And I'm going to try to see if I can make it kind of offbeat and maybe like a little too fast. And then we're going to see if Soundtrap is able to lock it to the beat. Usually when you're recording, it's helpful to have the metronome on, so you hear a count off when you press record. It usually gives you 8 bars before you start, or 8 beats. So let's try that. All right, so it was, pretty offbeat. Let's see what Soundtrap did with that. So cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Everything is now locked perfectly to the beat. So again, there's 3 things that I'm looking for with this. First is that kick on 1 and a couple other beats on that kick pattern programmed, and then at least 1 quantized pattern. The next thing we need is an unquantized pattern, so we're going to set auto quantize to off. So now whatever we play is going to be just however I play it. So I'm going to find a couple drums to add. Cool. So I'm going to make a little just kind of drum fill here. I'm going to try to make it offbeat, so it's not going to line up with the grid. You might wonder why, but there are certain kind of drum grooves and drum patterns that really need some kind of unquantized sound to really be correct, or sound authentic, I should say. There's no rules really, so it's all just kind of what people do. So we're going to press record now that our auto quantize is off. Alright, cool. So I added a couple extra sounds there, and if we click over to patterns, it should say this region contains unquantized notes. So that means that I did it right. So some of these patterns are now going to be off beat, but that's what I want. So I'm going to turn the metronome off and just hear what this sounds like. Cool. All right. Sounds a little chaotic, but we're just kind of experimenting here. I think I might actually slow down the tempo a little bit. And at this point, you could actually be done. In the walkthrough tutorial, I suggested also recording a melodic or harmonic pattern. Works very similar to recording with drums. We're just going to add a new track and add a piano. I'm going to change the sound patch, kind of like the Pink Carol. So I'm just going to make up a little pattern here with a couple notes. I'm just using my computer keyboard. And I think I'm going to record it and then have it Soundtrap quantize my pattern. Turn the metronome on. Alright, let's see what we can do with that. So I'm going to go to the piano roll, press Control A to select everything, just quantize 1/16, and here we go. That sounds pretty cool, actually. So I'm going to add a little higher part. Cool, somewhere around there. Let's have some layers going, and I think I might leave that unquantized and just see how it sounds. Turn my metronome off and cool. So it's maybe not the it's not going to get on the radio or anything, but this is a good way to start learning new skills and developing your tool set. Once you get a little bit better with these tools, you can write so much. A lot of music gets made with these exact tools. So at this point, you are done. Make sure that you title it A3, save it, and then you can either share it directly